Right, we ready?
Yeah.
Good.
All right, roll.
We rolling?
Rolling stones. Pepe Marti, he's on the pod.
We've
Welcome
been
along, mate.
Hello.
Long awaited.
Yeah.
Long awaited. You've probably been one of our most requested guests since Lawson.
Yeah.
I'd say. It's flat out on Twitter.
Well, a lot of people have wanted Behrman, but like we said many times, Ferrari's not really the. They're not friends of the show.
No, they're not friends of the show, put it that way. But we've had many a Red Bull Academy driver on, which you are one of, mate. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
You got until last year, right? Just before Macau?
Just before Macau.
Because that white Red Bull looked pretty shit hot.
It was shit hot.
Oh, okay. I was just saying.
Shit hot. Shit hot.
That was grouse.
So that was kind of your
It was
first weekend running the Red Bull colours in Macau.
Yeah.
When you get
No pressure.
I've always been curious about this because when you get the lid and you get the Red Bull logo going on the side of the visor, what's that like? How long do you stare at it? It's so iconic.
First, I actually got the helmet in Monza, so I drove it in Monza already. Mate, I was like,
yeah,
Came out the box. You're like, wow.
I was excited. But the thing was, I didn't even get involved in the design. Like they were just like, okay, we need a helmet for Monza. This design, screw you.
Chuck it out.
Chuck the helmet, and then I got it. I was like,
It's not bad.
it was really good. It was actually really good. So like, I'm only changing slight bits for this year's. It's just still not painted.
Yeah.
It's on the way. It's on the way. It's on the way. But yeah, it's really similar designs. It's cool. Made it.
Yeah, so we've jumped straight into your Red Bull
Good job.
career. We'll kind of pick up back on that a little bit later on, Dev 2 and so on. But I'm quite curious. I Wikipedia'd you this morning. You started karting at 11.
Yeah.
And then 3 years later, you won the Spanish championship. That's quite unusual as somebody who also started karting at 11 and took about 9 years to win anything in New Zealand. So kind of baptism by fire and straight into F4. But like into karting, you only kind of had 3 years. But how did you find that stacked up against this European Formula scene?
To be honest, go-karting was like really quick up. I started 11, like 2016. I did regional championship in 2017, came third, and then 2018 was already doing like the whole thing.
Yeah.
And it's because I met my...
In karting?
Like European
Holy
worlds.
shit, I'd already retired my karting career.
I'd retired in late 2016.
Jesus.
Yeah, I'm feeling very old.
Fucking hell, we're old.
Don't bring it up. How did you find, so moving, you started again relatively late, so you didn't have too much time in karting compared to these guys, but like, do you miss it as much as they do?
To be honest, karting was the shit.
Yeah.
It was so good. Like...
Yeah. Or you mates
it was
around.
so unserious, whilst also being so professional that it made it so fun. Like, you've also been in Tony Kart. Mate, Tony Kart, the ambience is so good. Like, you have fun. The mechanics are all Italian, so they're all like buffing about all the time. But you've also got the boss, Roberto, who's like on it all the time. Mate, he's on it.
The number of times I took a bollocking. I will never ever forget. Like, obviously, when you're a grown adult and you do a mistake on track, like a Marco Ardigo, you know, at the peak of his prime, he makes a mistake. Maybe he deserves a bollocking, but I was a 14-year-old. I just come out of a pre-final, I've done an absolute arse of a job. And I come in, and, you know, you're expecting some wise words, but at the same time, a bit of comforting, you know, a bit of one of these, you know? It's going to be okay. Not fucking good enough. That was shit. Turned around, walked off. I was like, all right.
And so he gets the message across, I guess.
Oh, yeah, 100%. Yeah. But yeah, no, Robazzi was...
He was like that.
Yeah.
But mate, he was the guy, to be honest. Like, so I met my coach in 2018, the beginning of 2018. And it was like January or December of 2017. It was something like that.
Yeah.
And mate, I'd been in a cadet in Catalonia. I never left like Catalonia. And he's like, you want to see what real karting is? You sure you want to like do it full time? I was like, yeah, I want to do this. So next week I was in Lonato in an OKJ with a white helmet and Tony Kart. Mate, I was... Because my coach, I'm not sure you'll know. Do you know MGM, like the team back in history?
Yes, I've heard the name.
So he was like the head of MGM. So he's really good in go-karts and he's been with me ever since. And mate, he was like, yeah. Next week, Lonato, Roberto.
How's the grip, mate?
Mate, I was gone. I was like 2 seconds off the 3 seconds off the pace. Yeah, hopping everywhere because I was already quite tall.
Yeah.
And you are tall, actually. So
way too tall. Way too tall. And so I was like, first day, mate, I didn't even know the difference between an OK Senior and OKJ. So I was like, fuck, these guys have so much power. It was an OKC.
Man, my engine's fucking down on power.
That's a nice piece of news when you get back in the garage. Yeah, they're a different category.
It's like, you see those guys have a
different category.
So yeah, that was that. And then like I think my 6th race in Europe, which was first round of Euros, I came 5th behind Kirill Small. Okay, Kirill. Brake checked me from nose cone down, 5 seconds, P12. Goodbye.
Welcome to Europe.
It's not that bad, mate. My first time in America, I didn't even make the cut. So P5 ain't bad.
No, it was good.
So from karts, and then the natural progression from sort of top level karting into F4, your first season was it Spanish F4?
Yeah.
Yeah. About P3 there?
P3.
That was the one. Yeah.
P3. Yeah.
So how was that championship for you? Because Spanish F4, I know Marcus did Italian F4 and his European F4. It's kind of evolved a little bit over the years. So how did you find that championship?
Now it's really like high level.
I think it's one of the highest now.
I would say it's Italian and in Spain, or on a par. I would say now. The level was really high, and I think that year was maybe a bit, I would say, on the underrated side in terms of talent. I mean, Delano was there. Delano did a really good job that year.
Yeah.
I mean, he completely sent us off everyone.
Yeah.
But it was also Campos' rookie season in F4, like first new team, new engineers and everything, new car for them. So it was like just new for everyone. Yeah. And the first few rounds were a bit lost, and then we catched up. We were really quick, but I was literally, what you think of as a rookie was me. Stall 4 times in the season.
Nice.
Mate, stalled in Valencia from P3 in nice tyres. Stalled from P4, went from last to 7th. Yeah. Stalled in Navarra from 27th to 11th. I was a rookie, mate. I was just like, send it.
You're like a stall.
Recovery, eh? Loves the recovery. You're Prince of P11 and
in F2 nowadays,
Back-to-back podiums in the opening round. There's only 2 other guys who have ever done that. Charles Leclerc and Liam Lawson.
Good company.
Yeah, you're in a good crowd.
That's right. I won't complain.
Exactly, man. You touched on it briefly. I don't want to sort of lower the tone too much, but you touched on it briefly with Delano winning that championship, and obviously that championship, and also Freck. Not a lot of light gets shed on those guys who are quick there, and obviously the tragically lost him last year in Spa. Is there any memories that you have of him or from that year racing against him that people at home, might like to know about? Because we never really got to know the guy, even though he was so quick.
I mean, he was a particular guy. I mean, I really liked him. We got along really well from go-karts. And it was, think of him like Dutch guy. He was a boxer as well.
A boxer?
Yeah. So he was like full-blown, like massive and everything. And he was just a really nice guy. Like having fun, everything. And even, I remember like a really good time I had in F4 UAE. Because it was basically
teammates there, right?
Yeah, we were teammates. Me, Delano, Tasna Pointer, Puvasak, Jamie Day. Like, mate, we knew each other from go-karts, all of us. Yeah. So it was really fun. And like, we would literally do when we raced in Dubai, because XL has the base in Dubai, the track.
Yeah.
We would do free practice. The 3-hour gap in between, we'd go to the sim. We'd do like shit. We'd do like Porsche Bathurst, full front like bias on the setup, just like sideways. It was so fun. We had a really good time. But like one memory that I have of Delano, which I say it all the time, is really funny. It was racing in Zuera. Okay, senior.
Oh,
yeah.
We were shit.
Quick track.
We were so slow that week.
Yeah, the thing is with Zuera, it's either you got a good waft and you're up front.
It's the Indy 500
it literally is the Indy. Yeah, exactly. It was like old Sano.
Yeah.
It was like good old Sano. But mate, when I tell you we were slow, we were like P50 overall on the list.
Yeah,
we were shit. We were like back of the grid. We were barely going to make the final anyways. And I'd gone shunted like fully in like turn 1, lap 1 on the start. I'd gone fully into the wall. So I was like, I've got nothing to lose. We were just wagging in the same group in the races. We were just fighting all the time. And the last chicane in Zuera is a double left.
Yeah.
And I was defending from it and he just fully sent me. I went on the way to the 2 corners before me.
Yeah.
It's like cut down the track.
Do the old rejoin.
And then after the race, I was like, I'll get you back. And he's like, that's right. And then next seat, I fucking sent him same players. And after the race, I was like,
fair play though.
It was funny, mate. We knew we were. It's like one of those weekends where quality was shit, pace was bad. Races, you have a good start and you just drop.
Yeah.
You just try and have some good fights.
Yeah, it was just
You're doing a Haas strategy in Formula 1. You get the good quality, you're up there, and then you just do, as we call it, the Isaac Newton. You just fucking drop like a stone, brother.
So yeah, that was
just better. No, well, it's good to. I mean, it's good to know for us. I never knew him, and Aaron, just for people. He was a great guy. So a really sad situation there. But bringing it on to a more positive topic. It's a tough season in F3 your first year, and you stayed with Campos. You stuck it out, and it paid off. You got into P5 in a really, really tough year of F3 last year, and now graduated to F2. So your first year versus second year of F2, outside your team obviously didn't change. So what did something for you change, or you just got a little bit used to the car? Or?
I think a bit of everything, to be honest. Towards the end of the season, I think pace-wise, I was already quite strong. I mean, in Silverstone, I went from 30 to 12. So again,
decent recovery.
Remontadas. And so I think the pace was quite good from like mid-season, but I was just doing so many mistakes. Like Spa, there was a yellow flag at the beginning of like last lap in quali, drying quali, like good old Spa.
Yeah, classic.
And I lost like 2 seconds because I was driving easy. I was like, yeah, nice, fantastic. I looked at the data, I'm like, yeah, why am I looking at this? My engineer was like, bro. Like, I was P7 before the last lap, and I was like P20. So, good old Spa.
Just hit the Isaac Newton.
And then, Monza was a bit of the same. Like, good quali, made a quali Monza. Oh my God. We start the engine, go to put first gear, no gear. Like going to the F1 paddock, no gear, nothing works.
No, that's bad.
Stop the engine. I was like, mate, something's wrong. My mechanic was like, I bet you it's the steering wheel. 100% it's the steering wheel. Guy comes in, checks, 5 minutes looking at data. Everybody's free practice is about to start. Still looking. It's the steering wheel. Fucking take the steering wheel, put the new one in. No padding. Oh, no, nothing on the buttons. You know how the lights in the new steering wheel, the lights were too dimmed?
Yeah.
You couldn't see. It was like that. So I'm driving out for quali with a steering wheel that has no grips, has nothing. I cannot see the dash. I cannot see the gears.
Nice.
The LEDs were off.
Just out there freestyle.
It was freestyle. Yeah. Best quali of the year.
There you go, mate. Take out all the driver aids you get. Mate, honestly, put a fucking steering wheel, just a wooden piece of wheel.
There's a few guys, I'll bring it back to karting again, I'll call it there, but there's a few guys in karting I remember they'd go better if you duct taped the data screen and they couldn't see their lap times. Like, a bunch of
are you one of them?
So in their own heads about what they're seeing on the screen that like if you just covered it up, they'd go way.
To be honest,
I think you're one of them.
No, I was all right, actually. I was actually surprisingly all right. But I will tell you one thing. On the P2 car, you do have the virtual sort of delta time. And so when you are going through quali and you're seeing your time go down... mate, when you get to the last 2 corners and you see your 3/10 up...
You wish it was off, mate.
Mate, when you see your 3/10 up, you're just like, don't fuck this up. Don't fuck this up now. You get into the last corner, you're still 3/10 and then, oh, shit. And then you slowly get to the line and you see the time go down, down, and you cross line 0-0. Cheers, mate. Well done.
Yeah, perfect. No, it's like looking at the numbers towards the end of Q1, you know, you're just saying, come on.
But how does quali work in EMS?
So you basically, at this point we'll probably find out. No, you basically choose one of the 3 drivers on the car. It's separate categories, so you won't have loads of traffic, basically. Yeah. And it's 15 minutes, so generally speaking, you can either put 2 sets with only 1 push or just 1 set and run the 1 set a little bit later in the session and just do a couple of pushes.
So how many laps do you have of tyre? Like good tyre?
Honestly, they're quite peaky, the tyres. I'll have to say that I wouldn't say it's the same as F2, maybe like here in Barcelona or maybe in Bahrain where you just have the 1 lap. You probably got 2.
If that.
Yeah, if that, and sometimes by sector 3 they're sort of already going on. But it's roughly about 2 laps of proper peak. But the thing is, afterwards you get a bit of a drop off, but they actually remain in a pretty good window for a while. So,
but it's good that they have like a peak of 2 laps, and like it's consecutive push. It's not push call push.
Yeah,
Oh, now what did I do in turn 1?
Well, I told you just before. I mean, for me the story that sticks to my mind about stepping into a P2 car was. My first quali run in sort of practice, I make a mistake and I'm sort of cool enough, you know, I'm doing the classic Pirelli, oh shit, fuck, okay, I'm going to do the lap nice and easy, get ready for my second push, and the engineer comes on the radio after 3 quarters and goes, everything all right, mate? And I go, yeah, just cool enough. He goes, no, keep pushing. Fucking tyres already out the window.
That's the IndyCar rookie mistake, eh?
Yeah.
And you got to make half a mistake, abandon the lap, and the engineers get on the radio. What the fuck are you doing?
Keep pushing.
It's a familiar story. It's definitely a familiar story. But so it sounds so. Bring back to your F3 campaigns. Year one, kind of just mistakes kind of let you down, and that's kind of what you kind of got it right.
Just
Steered
really,
onto
really
the right
shit.
track for year two. Off track, year one. Were there any mistakes you made? Give us hotels, restaurants, shenanigans.
Hotels can always be better, mate. That's one.
We know.
It's all right. It's all right. But
So my number one rule since very young, and I don't know if you do the same nowadays, but my number one rule was never go to the team's hotel.
no, we always go.
Oh, no, but good luck to you, brother.
No, to be honest, most of the time it's decent. It's good.
Yeah.
But the main reason you go to the hotel with them is because, mate, imagine do you know, like when you send a WhatsApp or like you call your engineer and he's not picking up and you don't know what time you have to be at the track the next day?
Yeah.
Stuff like that, mate. For
Well,
me,
not really. I generally,
You kind of freestyle it as well.
I'll freestyle it most of the time, but I roughly have an idea.
So yeah, but it was stuff like that.
Yeah,
It makes it more comfortable.
Yeah.
Most of the time. But
The only problem with team hotels generally you'll find is that because they want something a bit cheaper, which is like the smarter thing to do. If you've got 10, 12 rooms for a team, they're normally like 45 minutes to an hour out. Did you not
for us,
find
actually, not so much.
Not so much
Most
for
of
you
the time,
guys?
no. I think
You-
Spa, the tracks which are really bad, we do ourselves. Like
Yeah.
Spa, for example, we.
Yeah.
You need to figure out a way to be closer to the track.
yeah.
Or Austria, mate.
Austria.
Airbnb is good.
Yeah.
Airbnbs are really good for that. But
Yeah,
Yeah,
no,
most-
the high-tech hotels when I was Marcus was just absolutely dismal. The one that they stayed in for...
Yeah, but you're speaking about Marcus Armstrong as well, one of the most sassiest,
Yeah, I mean,
luxury-loving
He stayed in the
people.
Four Seasons, but I'm just saying, the
Yeah.
high-tech hotel was it was about 2.5 hours away from the track. And
what?
I've told this story on the pod before. I was in the bar at that hotel and I asked for a martini. Don't know what I was doing. And they literally just gave me a glass of vermouth, like the martini branded vermouth with an olive in it. And I was like, this is, I drank it. But,
Still drank it.
Oh, never let it go. Never let a drink go unfinished.
Drinks wasted. Criminal.
Criminal.
Absolutely criminal. But so yeah, we'll speed through a little bit of F3 and I'll get into a bit of F2 chat. But strong F3 campaign last year. Got you the Red
Actually,
Bull.
I do have a question. So
Fuck my question.
fuck your question. Actually, I've been sort of moan on this one for a little
Don't
while.
make me
He's prepping now, mate.
Yeah, this is my prep, brother.
It's live threat happening right now.
So I've been thinking for a moment. Year one, year two. Obviously, in F3, you generally have
You can relate.
your top teams, like your Premers, your Tridents, High Tech sometimes here, sometimes not so much. ART as well, sometimes at the front, not so much. But let's say those are your like statement teams,
Yeah.
the ones that are always going to be there. So you've gone from Campos, who arguably have had some good seasons in the past, but haven't, let's say, been the most consistent. You're going into your second year of F3, arguably the most important to get you a proper good seat in F2, one of the best teams. What was the reasoning behind going back to Campos? Because obviously, arguably with your results, you could have gone to probably a great team like Trident and so much. Was it the Spanish thing? What was it?
So, firstly, I mean, to be honest, you know how it is. If you don't really have a solid rookie season, say for example, you're like Dino this year. I'm sure Dino had a good offer from Prema to stay.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. Whereas I had a really terrible first season, so the prices
Differ.
differ a lot. And yeah, obviously this is back to Spain when you stop looking at say Prema, Trident, ART, and you look more at the other guys.
Yeah.
There was obviously a factor Spanish. That was
yeah.
a big factor in that. Firstly, I think the performance-wise, the team was not bad. I mean, okay, we didn't really...
You said yourself, it was mostly your mistakes.
Yeah, exactly. Like David was P11 in the championship, something like that, P12. So obviously it wasn't great, but it wasn't like...
No.
terrible.
I'm not saying it was...
No.
That's not what I'm
I
mentioning.
get what you mean.
Yeah.
I get what you mean.
Every F3 year, you're going to have 6 cars who are kind of almost at that unbeatable
always.
level potentially. So, yeah.
I mean, the championship's always between the same 3 teams.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
the reality. That's the reality.
Same as F1.
Exactly, same as F1. And it also comes down to terms of budget as well.
Yeah.
There's a lot involved in it. So yeah, that was pretty much what paid into it. But to be honest, I knew my team. I knew what the team was capable of because I've been with them, and the mechanics are so good in F3. Like the engineering and mechanics team in F3 Campos is ridiculous.
Yeah, because a lot of engineers actually from other teams ended up going towards Campos in the last. I wouldn't know the last year or so, but at least the last few years when I was in F3,
4 or 5 years. Yeah.
A lot of them started to go towards Campos, and you saw that resurgence in the sort of performance that they had. Because the first year I was there, I wouldn't say they were on par with Carlin, but a little bit better probably. But towards, I mean, your year was massive.
the
Here
Carlins,
was insane. The quali here, I still remember. I came in, I was watching the quali from the track, and I was like, "Fuck, that's fast."
Yeah.
It was quick.
It's the son now who runs it. I got that right.
Adrian, Adrian's son.
Yeah. I think, when Simon, a friend of ours, got his Rolex done in Milan last year.
Yeah.
So I think the Campos truck got broken into in Monza. And so my mate, who just watched
I think so.
pinched the night before, went down to the police station. He was waiting in line to fill out the report. Guy sits next to him. Hey, how you going? Yeah, I was just in town for the Formula 2. He goes, oh, I was just talking to Adrian. He was also there for his police report. And he goes, I was there with Novalak. Claire, you go. It's a small world, but it's good to.
Everybody gets robbed in Milan.
Oh, absolutely. I got robbed at the bar.
Be careful with where you leave your car here. Barta was robbed last year.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus.
I'm not saying it's a terrible place, but be careful where you go.
No,
You've always got to be careful.
Everything gets there. But so, jumping into F2, mate. So we touched on it a little bit before you jumped on the show. It's a very, very different car. And a different car again to what you would have driven last year. But I think the chassis is more or less pretty much
It's the same thing.
So
it's the same car.
I
It's
mean,
pretty
we
much the
ask
same thing.
everyone and we do get the same answer. How are you finding the transition from F3 to F2?
To
As
be
challenging
honest,
as you thought it was going to be, or you kind of thought from other people's feedback that it was going to be a bit of a blast?
I knew it was going to be a hard task. I mean, to be honest, like feedback from the last 3 rounds, for me personally, it was like first round was too good.
Yeah.
And the next 2 rounds are too shit. That's what my feeling and balance of the last 3 weekends were. But the thing is that it's not a matter of like the races being better, worse, pace being better, worse, stuff like this. Mate, is it such a random championship? Like, mate, round 1, if we'd pit the lap later in the feature race, I would have been in front of Maloney because they do the delay in the safety car and blah, blah, blah. But then when Hauger crashed, they waited until everybody was in the pit lane to drop the virtual safety car and they still got the advantage. So, man, it's like...
No, the best ever was...
It's so random, mate.
Was Monaco last year, where they had... it was a safety car, like a V-Series safety. Half the field was up the road. Up the road, and then they just went green again. And you were like P13 or something at the time. But the guy in P11 was like 2 cars ahead of you.
And he was slowing down like crazy trying to follow the Delta, but the guys in front were 40 seconds.
The top 6 like 40 seconds up. So Victor got like a 10-second penalty for that. That lost like 1 spot. So it's nuts. Like,
Wait, didn't Victor get 10 seconds for almost running over the Martians?
Yeah, but like
is it the same
didn't do
thing?
anything because they
was it green?
fucked up the restart. So it's like it was the ultimate congratulations, you played yourselves on the stewards there. So no, it is a random championship. I remember Jacques Lunet, we ran into him at Melbourne last
So
year.
you'll find
Jack
that,
Crawford.
we'll have different names for different drivers.
Yeah.
Jacques Lunet is...
Lunet.
Lunet.
He started off as Jackie Moon, which is a character from the Will Ferrell movie, and then he's moved to a French team this year, so he's been renamed Jacques Lunet. No, but we saw him in Melbourne at High Tech last year. His first 2 rounds was dreadful. And then shows up in Melbourne, I think it's P5 practice, P3 quality or something. And we go, what changed? Car must feel amazing. He's like, it feels the same. I'm just buzzing. Have you had any moments like that?
I mean, I haven't had it myself, but I've seen people have it.
Yeah.
Like Enzo Fittipaldi, Bahrain, Jeddah.
Man, Jeddah
was ridiculous.
a rocket ship. I don't know how... He was so
And Rafa
fast,
was
man.
good as well.
Sorry?
There you go, man. Rafa was good as well. I was like, bro, what the fuck is going on? Like,
That's the thing that I find. I mean, this year, obviously, being a new championship, it's new cars. Everybody gets to grips with it, and you tend to find that when you've got a new car, you've got some differences in teams and such. But man, after 5 years of using the same chassis, supposedly the same tires, supposedly the same bloody engine, you've got. I don't think a team has won 2 years in a row the team's championship in the whole of the history of like the new car in F2.
Really? Very few, if any, I'd say.
Yeah, because you've got ART that win with De Vries.
Yeah.
The following year, I think he goes to... No, the year before he was at Prema. Prema was
Came fourth.
abysmal.
Came fourth, I think.
Yeah, he came fourth, but the team itself was not quick. Then the following season with Mick, they're insane.
I blame the grey livery on that. It was awful though.
Yeah, it was not great looking. But yeah, it's always like a different team. Even MP for me, like you look at two guys like Jehan and Hauger. Hauger for me is like I race with him in F3. Jehan a bit less. He's a really quick driver. He goes from Prema, where he has a very average season with Jehan as well, goes to MP that won the year before with Drugo, for me, was the most dominant performance that you could see.
Yeah.
And then nowhere all of a sudden. I'm like, how does that work? Because it's the same car, same engine, same tracks. They've not changed engineers. They've probably not changed the setup. So how can it go that much slower?
Yeah. The best advice that I guess I could probably give you is for your F2 campaign as an insurance broker, and I've never driven an F2 car, is just, if you're slow, just as it's not me. That's not the problem, you know?
I'm innocent.
Yeah, exactly. Just ignorance is the way to go through life. So honestly, I can't recommend a better option. So going into this year is what you've done a few years in the European scene now. So anything you're looking to do differently this year that you haven't done before?
Qualify.
Yeah.
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 Because, I mean, last year I had first in Barca, first in Spa, third in Silverstone. But mate, then I had like P13, 1 P11. So like I'm up and down.
You are the new
The
Armstrong.
Prince of P11 is what we used to call him. Yeah.
I always finish either P11 or mate, to be honest though, P11 in F2 is like...
Oh, you want to shit your
pain.
Yeah, it's painful.
Because the thing was, in Bahrain I wasn't pissed. In Bahrain I was like, okay, I know I've done shit. Because first run I was P2, like half a tenth of Isaac. And then the same run 2 I did... You know how in F3 you drive the same and you just go 3 tenths quicker?
Yeah.
In F2 I thought that was the approach.
I
did the second run, I was like, yeah, I've gone 300s quicker.
Yeah.
Fantastic job there. So yeah, bottled quali. But then Jeddah was paying me. Jeddah coming across the line,
P11 again.
P11,
Yeah.
4,000s off.
Oh,
I wanted to end it all, mate. Right there.
to be honest, mate, my first year in MP, my quali had been pretty shit all season, and we got to Zandvoort, obviously my track nowadays, you know.
Does the LMS race?
Sorry?
Do you guys race in Zandvoort?
No, I wish. But so we get to Zandvoort, and surprisingly I have an okay quali, and I qualified I think on my run was P8, and then I think there'd been a couple of red flags, and so we didn't have any fuel to go back out again. And Vesti goes out. By this time I'm P10. Right on the bubble. And Vesti, I think, is P12. And he goes, green sector 1, green sector 2. And at that point, I was like, no! And he goes into the last sort of the left-right chicane, the really slow. And he locks the front wheel, and I just see him go straight into the gravel, mate. I went, fucking starting on pole, motherfuckers.
P1 prime time.
Oh, mate, P1 prime time. Sky Sports, Clement Novalak.
That's the way to go, isn't it? And then,
But I know the feeling of P11.
And then the next week was P11, no? The next year, sorry. Last year was P11 in quali.
Last year was P11, I think.
Yeah.
P11 or P12.
P11 to P1.
Oh, mate.
Wow.
what a day.
Honestly, one of the happiest days of my life, but I don't remember much of it past 3 o'clock.
I was going to say, how was Amsterdam? Was it Amsterdam?
No, I don't know. What did we do?
We did go into Amsterdam.
Did we?
Yeah. For like 45 minutes before we decided it was a terrible idea and turned back.
Yeah. To be honest, we went to this party, and
yeah.
there was the geezer from Swedish House Mafia.
Yeah.
It was
It was
doing...
the king of, or the prince of the king of Holland was thrown at his beach house.
Yeah.
And we were the
And you got invited, or?
Yeah. Shout out to friend of the show, Ringer van der Zande, hooked us up with a few tickets. And we bled the old race winner story arc. So no, we hopped along, and then it's a whole fucking situation, beach party. There was jet skis in the pool, and all sorts.
And then
of
no
time.
more has to be said.
Yeah, it was fun in India.
No more should be said after that.
No.
You know, every time I hear Swedish House Mafia, I just remember seeing that massive dude with long hair just stood on stage, just giving it. I was just like, yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
Good times. There's probably a video. We'll stick that up in there.
Probably best not.
Yeah.
Situation was not.
Yeah, exactly.
Not great.
So that's my best advice to you would be win Zandvoort.
Yeah.
And
then call us.
I'll text Ringer and be like,
Right.
hey, fucking.
Do you know what my only issue is? Because I've always travelled with my mum, like always.
Oh, Mum can come. She can swing by. Party.
Yeah,
Great.
Plane's probably going to be like 7 p.m. or something like that.
Don't worry, brother. We'll organise it next day.
There's always another flight.
You win Zandvoort, brother. I'm going to tell her, look, your royal family's inviting you. You're going to have to reschedule that flight. She'll be so weak.
You don't always know that there's going to be another win, but you do know that there's going to be another flight.
Do you know what the issue is?
Do you know what? That is a quote. Sorry?
Do you know what the bigger problem is right now? We don't raise the Zandvoort. You what? We don't raise the Zandvoort this year.
What?
Oh,
we go to Qatar.
Yeah, okay. What? Oh, that's horrendous.
Well,
Amsterdam is a lot more fun than Qatar. I can tell you that for sure.
cheers to the petrodollars, eh?
Yeah. Yeah. God, we need to find a new way to just create disgusting wealth, don't we? And it needs to be in Europe. Because it's
Like that, we get back to Zandvoort.
Like, you know, how can we...
I'll tell you one thing,
find some
though.
natural resources in Europe.
As a geezer who's been coming to the track here for probably quite a while.
Probably more than me.
No, I don't know, maybe. How much has it changed, eh? Crazy the amount of infrastructure going on.
Yeah.
See, they're redoing the whole pit lane. They built buildings that I didn't know you could build before.
I'm guessing they've renewed a somewhat long-term contract with Formula 1.
Yes.
Yeah. No?
No?
For what I know, no.
Oh, wow. Ooh, interesting.
I hope so.
Ah,
I'd love
because
to. I'd love to have 2 GPs in Spain. I mean,
That would be
how
insane.
sick would that be?
Yeah.
But
And
it
for
does
me-
not appear likely.
Oh, really?
But not alternating between the two. I thought they might alternate between the two.
So they look kind of...
I think that's even
Madrid.
less likely than
of
having
course.
to.
Of course. Yeah.
I think that's
Madrid.
less likely than having to Grand Prix actually.
Yeah.
The alternating. Because the thing is, you know how Spain has a really big rivalry. Like Catalonia, Spain has always been.
Yeah.
Like the thing is, for me personally, I do not care at all. Like, okay, I watch the news every so often, but mate, I'm more outside than I'm home, so I don't really care.
Yeah.
You're a
And-
nomad.
And for me, mate, honestly, I'm happy to listen to the Spanish anthem as I am to the Catalan. I mean, I'm both, so
Yeah.
I don't mind. And to be honest, mate, when I won, you win Spanish GP and the Spanish anthem sounds like rings on.
Pretty
mate.
crazy.
Yeah, I enjoyed
Insane.
it. I enjoyed it, mate. It does-
That was something I actually wrote down. How does winning your home feature stack up to winning the Monaco Sprint?
Sunday's better, mate.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, Monaco is really sweet, but the race was really boring. I mean, both races were actually quite boring. But Monaco...
That's the problem when you're fast, isn't it? It's pretty boring.
But it makes it... but you don't complain, no? When you P1... It's
Nah, brother.
Oh, what a great...
Slow this thing down. I need to have some fun with the guys in P8.
Yeah, I understand why Max does not complain about winning by 30 seconds.
Yeah.
Because it is a good feeling. When you cross the line, like... Just
Yeah.
bye-bye, mate.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that was... I think Monaco, I got like, you know when you like get sucked in a track when you're driving?
Tunnel.
Tunnel vision. Like the last 6 laps was ridiculous. I was 1
Holy
second
shit,
quicker.
guys. We're about to get a new Senna quote. Senna style quote. Go on, tell us. So you're driving that time. Did you have an outer body experience? Please. Tell
I
us.
need to think it through, wait.
Yeah.
Yeah, come on. Think of something that's going to be iconic for a reel.
Rory, can you put in some emotional music in the background?
Yeah.
Oof, this can be...
Describe the Monaco win. In your own words. You don't need a quote singer.
inspirational music in the background, but it's a lot of pressure.
It's playing now.
It's playing.
So, for me, winning Monaco was like, it was like firstly a relief because I knew like starting on pole you have to win Monaco, but to be honest, it just felt so sick to like look back and not see anyone in Monaco. It was really fun, and mate, the track is so sick. The track is fucking sick. I love the track.
I asked actually
Monaco.
Richie Stanaway a number of years ago. You reckon if you put the Monaco track in a field in England or something,
It'd be
like just
so shit.
exactly the same layout,
It'd be so
would
shit.
it still be a cool track?
That'd be horrendous.
It'd be horrendous.
Horrendous.
Terrible.
yeah, it's funny. It's just like the atmosphere there is
Yeah.
just something else.
Mate, it's like Macau. If you put Macau in
See,
anywhere else, it'd be terrible. But
this is
Macau in
my
itself
problem.
is amazing.
So I say to everyone, I'll touch on Macau very soon. I always say to everyone who wants to cancel the Monaco Grand Prix, it comes up every year on social media. Oh, get rid of it, it's boring. You haven't been. If you've been,
Macau is terrible.
yeah,
It's frightening. When you do the first lap, mate, I did
In
first
Macau.
lap.
Oh, yeah.
First lap Macau, practice 1. I did a 2:11.8. The pole lap, which we were supposed to reach more or less, was a 2:04.9. I swear to God, I was like, how on earth is 8 seconds in this? There's no way. There's no way I have to go 8
a
seconds
green
quicker.
street track though, mate. That's horrific. Is it the same in Monaco? Is it that slow out the gate?
No, but it wasn't. No, mate, the track was not slow.
Yeah.
It was just.
Oh, you were slow. Oh, sorry.
It was just, mate. You finished the first lap, and I was like, whoa.
Well, you
Whoa.
you competed against co-host, founder of the show, Marcus Armstrong, who's not with us today. He's a Macau. He dubs himself Macau specialist, even though he's crashed in every single qualifying he's ever done. He loves that joint. And do you think you will go back again just for noise?
I doubt.
Yeah, no, it's a
Mate, P5 is good.
Yeah,
P5. Okay, I would love to win Macau. I would. It would be amazing to win Macau. But I think if I have to go back, it would have to be with the team that's going to win.
You'll have to be honest,
Kramer and High Tech were so far ahead of everyone. Mate, they were doing the quick chicane, yeah? We did not do it flat at any point during the weekend. They did it flat in FP1.
Tell you what, though, if you go back, you got to stick with that livery. I mean, if in any way, shape, or form they go, you can go back with High Tech or Prema, the best teams there, but the livery ain't the one that you used. Just say no.
Yeah.
So I can win, but you know what? I'm going to win, but I ain't going to look cool.
That's the good thing about Macau not being a part of the championship. Because another thing that people might not know is the car. I don't know if it's the same for F3. It might be different, but at least for F2, the car has to say the same colour, 80% as your teammate for the entire year.
Not anymore. No,
they changed that.
They've changed it now.
Because of the academies and everything, they've changed.
Yeah, it made sense because there was
sometimes there's some horrendous liveries for drivers who didn't have them.
Mate, Edgar's livery was so good. Edgar's livery, 2 years ago, was insane.
Yeah, the old
blue, like the chrome
Red
blue.
Bull. Yeah.
Yeah,
so good.
They look like the Gasly car, like the Gasly GP2 or whatever it was. That was cool.
Yeah.
Red Bull need to change the livery up. I do like it. It's a modern classic.
Yeah. Obviously, you're now a member, part of the team.
Yeah.
Why don't you go up to the design team?
Yeah, I like the design.
No, it is. It's great.
It's a
great
good design.
It is the modern MP412. I truly believe that. But it's time for something new.
I wouldn't say no to a new livery just for the fun of it.
Yeah.
But I think it looks. It's really iconic. I think on the F2 on the new F2 it looks so good.
Yeah.
The new Red Bull livery looks really good. And when I first saw it, I was like, looks better than I expected, to be honest. Because I'd just been coming off of the white Red Bull F2 in the old F2, which was beautiful.
Yeah.
And then I was like,
the new one's a little
rear wing, very round,
Just the Kardashian rear wing.
Yeah.
So I didn't know what it was going to be like. When I saw the car, I was like, all right.
Yeah, to be fair, actually, I do think Campos probably best looking car this year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd put it up
ARTs
there.
Zane's car's beautiful.
Look dog. Absolutely terrible.
Tell you what, though, I really like I know a lot of people are going to stick it and say, it's too much carbon, no.
I think I know which one it's going to say.
But the Victor F2 looks the bollocks.
I agree.
It looks good on the F2, but it doesn't work on the F1.
I know, yeah.
And neither does the car design of the F1.
What about the steak F1?
Awful.
And Zane.
Horrific.
Very green. It's like you've had a bad night. That's what you kind of see.
Bad feeling, like you would go from Alfa Romeo, one of the most stylish brands on the planet, and now you're just with some fluorescent green fucking gambling company. Ugh.
And Miata's car is so nice.
Yeah.
Miata's is good.
Yeah, is it with the Toyota?
It looks good.
Is it Toyota or Honda?
Toyota.
Yeah.
TGI.
Gazoo Racing. They do stuff well, the Gazoo Racing design team.
What else is a good livery this year? MP has the good old livery.
Same
the
as
green
usual.
on Dennis looked good.
Yeah.
Yeah, that
looks
does
quite
look good.
Mate, what's it called? Zach's car looks nice. The Williams looks very fancy.
That's too confusing though, because who's the other Williams guy in the F2?
Franco.
It's the same. It's too
No,
similar.
I don't think it's the same.
Yeah.
Is it the same?
Yeah.
I think so. But it looks really nice. But it looks really nice.
I'm too old. What's the best livery you've ever run? You reckon this year or last year?
Last year, brother.
I think it made it, the fact that it was a one-off made it even more special.
Yeah, that's cool.
If it was a full season, I think we'd get tired of the white. I think, to be honest.
The mechanics would, because the rubber marks on that
they'd have to be cleaning apps all the time.
They should be doing that anyway.
No, but you'd have to polish it every day, mate.
Yeah,
and my mechanic would be like, if you go off one more time, I'm in a shoot. So, Or if you don't qualify on pole, mate.
Yeah, I want to say at least I'm putting that much work in cleaning the fucking thing, make sure it's seen. You know?
I do sympathise with Verstappen and Verstappen's personal sponsors on that front as well, because you watch the first 2 laps, he checks out, we watch the battle for P4 for the rest of the time, and then we.
Hey, imagine he gets paid. Imagine he gets paid for like minute on TV. He's not getting paid at all.
He wouldn't get paid a lot.
Yeah,
You're too quick.
He's asking us for money.
Well, probably what he loses for that, he wins on bonuses.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I reckon so.
I won't speculate on what the structure is, but I'm sure it's pretty sweet. I bet they revise it this year, though.
They must have after last year, because
I don't think they even saw that coming at Red Bull. Like that kind of dominance.
Mate, that was ridiculous.
Yeah, like.
Have you not heard the story of the? What team was that? I think it was Toyota, actually. Do you know how Toyota pulled out for 2010?
Yeah.
They didn't race in 2010. There was this story that the first like vehicle dynamics graphs that came out for the Toyota TA10, I think it was TA10, was way better than the Red Bull, like ridiculously better than the Red Bull. But they discontinued the project, and they came out of F1.
Yeah.
Mate, imagine if they were racing, they win. Toyota world champs.
It's strange.
Back to back.
The pressure that comes on manufacturers are coming in and out of F1, because now we've seen it going a little bit political. It's now profitable to run a Formula 1 team. Like we're seeing Audi looking to enter the frame. Like
is it actually profitable?
Money. Yeah.
Put it this way, I think from obviously discounting driver salaries because they're not included in the what's it called, cost cap.
Yeah.
But I think Red Bull last year, obviously the budget cap's roughly 137 mil per team.
I think it was 2.
Yeah, I think it's that and then extra for events, no?
Yeah, extra for events. But I think alone on just prize money from the championship and the TV revenue, they made 135 mil last year, which means that they had a 2 million budget deficit without even starting to speak about sponsors.
We could just look at it. We could just search Red Bull Racing. Actually, we could look at the balance sheet on HMRC.
Can you?
Yeah,
is that online?
You can see the profits of any company. Anyway, we'll get that up on the screen later. So it's now profitable running. So you're seeing manufacturers looking at the frame. Andretti's been denied. F1 just didn't answer their DM, I guess. But that seems very strange. But so it is now profitable. So you had teams like Toyota backing out, and like Richard Branson had a little bit of a flutter for a while. But now you had guys back then pulling out because of the economic situation, global financial crisis. Now the only pressure is really coming from the environmental side. So I mean, F1's doing a lot around its image to change that on the surface. So it's weird to see like the pressures coming in and affecting different companies and where their morals stand on whether or not you run the Formula 1 team or not. Because it used to just be purely financial. Now it's a little bit of moral, a little bit of environmental.
All the background stuff.
It is good. The one good thing, big props to F1. One good change they've made: Australia to Japan.
Yes.
Because Australia, Europe, and then America, Japan, America.
Yeah, but
the stupidest thing.
Mate, but they still do. They do. Mate, think about it. They do Australia, Japan. And then they have a week break, and then China.
Yeah.
Should have just started back to back, mate. Do a triple header, because people are going to go back to Europe, and then back to China.
A logistics company would have a fucking field day with the Formula 1 calendar. I don't think you need air.
No.
If you did it right, I don't think you need air.
To be honest,
you'd start the season in March and end it in
You'd start the season at Silverstone, down the road from most of the teams. Then you'd hit the south of France.
Yeah, the thing is, I don't think Silverstone in Feb is exactly the. I don't think you'd want to run a Grand Prix there.
Yeah, but with global warming, mate, you never know.
Actually, maybe one day.
If F1 keeps up their current pace, then maybe they can have Silverstone in Feb. So F1, actually, an interesting topic. So just started your F2 campaign. I won't get too excited, but there's that path. You're in the academy now. Is sort of. There's a whole bunch of stuff happening with Red Bull that we
Hold on.
No, you're good.
Let me help you.
Don't bring out any weird couch, mate.
Yeah, get that G-banger. I'm actually going to some shades as well.
Oh, that's like 70%.
Here's some very fashionable sunglasses I bought yesterday from I think they cost me €20. They may not have a great UV rating, but
mate, they're exactly the same as ones I have from Camaro.
Done.
Cheers, mate. Thank you.
No worries.
Thank you.
Great minds.
Do you know what?
Fashion Academy over there.
Actually, do you know what?
You don't need too much work.
Yeah.
What?
You don't need too much work coming to the Novalak Fashion Academy. I think you're. Actually, do you know what?
Dragovic is getting
Old style, mate. I'm really old style. I don't like nothing on the hair, nothing on everything.
Yeah.
I actually need to cut my hair because what is this? Other than that,
No, but classic. I like it.
Yeah.
One thing. Why the fuck are you British?
Oh yeah, why do you sound so English?
well, I went to an English school till I was 6. Then I went to Spanish school for like 7 years, and during that period of time, I had my parents were like, "We want you to speak fluent English." My sister's ridiculous; they speak better than me.
Yeah,
even.
but yours is pretty good. I mean, like,
Well,
Mine's
come
good.
on, mate.
Mine's good, but my sister's. I mean, my older sister's lived in the UK for 10 years.
Okay.
She
Okay.
has the citizenship. Actually, he's passed. So she speaks even better than me. But basically, I had this English teacher for like 7 years when I was a kid, and all I would do was like play with her, like move around, do some homework.
Yeah.
The name was Anne, actually. Just a really nice person.
Diane.
Hello. And yeah, so it was. Yeah, basically, I've picked up the English from that, and ever since, yeah.
Yeah, because it's not often you come across.
I would have assumed boarding school. I have to say.
Yeah, same. Honestly, that's how I picked mine up. And it's not often that you come across a French person that can speak with a British accent,
True.
but even
Lobster.
less
Yeah.
a Spanish person with a proper British accent. I think we're both on the same level.
yeah.
I don't think there's that many of us around, brother.
Especially in the motorsport world.
Oh, excuse me, can you box right now, please?
Before we jumped into fashion, we were just a little bit of. So you're on the path, you're in the academy.
Oh yeah, sorry, I just broke you.
Is there, mate, have you got any more live prep you want to do just before I
No.
proceed with this question, or am I good?
No, all good. You can go.
You should, I would imagine, be sort of dead set on Formula One right now. That is
Yes.
your goal. You've got characters like this, Wex kind of blowing up, the endurance scene. Does any of that kind of stuff, maybe outside of Formula One, if you get there, or does that extra racing interest you at this stage of your life, or is your pure focus just Formula One, Formula One, Formula One?
No, totally. Like, I think WEC is right now the best second choice there is by far. I mean, okay, IndyCar is also really, really strong, but I think WEC for the quality of life compared to IndyCar,
Oh,
I think it gives it a couple of notches. I think, okay, obviously IndyCar, maybe they get paid twice or 3 times more. I would
Yeah.
say something like that on average. But makes sense. There's 3 drivers to 1 driver. Also, that
if
adds
anyone's
up.
weighing up the
adds up.
decision currently, it's about the same, I would know.
so yeah, basically, I think both are good, really good.
The lifestyle balance of WEC just seems so attractive to me.
Yeah.
And you also you do have opportunities to do some more stuff as well, like Daytona or like
Exactly.
Yeah, and also from like a performance point of view, you have so much testing that you can get well with the car. You can make a good car. You can have such good prep for events. Mate, an F2 IndyCar. Drive out, free practice 1, free practice 2. Put on the new set of tires you've never tried on before quali. Do 2 laps. That's all you've got. Onto the races. Do the races. Fuck off.
Yeah.
And we get such little attention for that as well.
Yeah.
Like compared to F1, F2 is nothing.
We
And-
said on a live stream the other day, like that your lap for budget ratio in Formula
Shit,
2
mate.
is up there in the worst.
Especially
tiers on the planet.
if you focus on just push laps.
Yeah.
Mate, in an 8 lap run, you have 3 push,
Yeah.
2 push maybe. If there's red flags, you have less.
Yeah.
Oh, if there's a red flag, you're
If
essentially
it's
just.
a normal test,
I wouldn't even want
Every
to.
red flag costs about 15 grand.
so fucking ridiculous.
Oh, terrible.
No,
Terrible.
good.
If you don't count damage.
Yeah, if you
If you don't count, yeah, it's true.
depends how good your broker is, but.
Yeah, actually.
What's your number?
I've already got it, man.
I got it.
You have an email waiting. So yeah, different racing does it. So I don't have too many more. Do you have any more live prep you want to do? Let me just check my.
Actually,
roster.
speaking of fashion, quick question. Where do you get these type of pants?
Barcelona.
Really?
Yeah.
It's actually not. It's
Barcelona.
Barcelona.
And it's actually one of the easiest cities for you to pronounce, actually.
Barcelona. Yeah, we were walking around yesterday, and I've needed a pair of linen pants for quite some time now. And I just saw these hanging up, and I thought those will do. So yeah,
Bit in the old city, you know.
30 odd
Yeah,
euros.
those are- yeah,
Because
yeah.
if you go hunting around on the, your Reese, your sort of all those kind of generic UK fashion brands, like
You can
You're
find them.
online, but you don't know what they are. Like these were just Uncle Bob hanging up there. That's exactly what they are. €30 done. You know, you're not paying €60 for something to arrive 4 days later, and you put them on. You go, I'd look like I've shat myself. You know? So, no, I really rate my Delano for the.
Try spelling Madrid. Madrid.
Madrid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually good.
Madrid.
Can you do the R? You probably can. Yeah.
Yeah. Was there?
Can you?
No, it's it comes with the tongue, not the It's not it's
Is that right?
Yeah, just the vibration of the
Give us a word. Fernando.
Fernando Alonso.
Yeah.
Fernando.
Yeah, good bastard.
Good old Spanish, mate.
Yeah, you're actually a part of his fold as well. You're under the A14 management. Have you had much to do with Fernando in your short window in the F1 scene?
I mean, Fernando obviously is
He's
very busy guy.
Yeah.
So we only rarely do stuff like simulator,
days,
karting days. Yeah, but when we do something like that, mate, it's really fun.
That's cool though.
Mate, and he does everything 110%.
Yeah.
Mate, he's ridiculous. Everything he did. We played football. I swear I thought he was going to break someone's tibia. It's incredible, mate. Running up and down.
huge Madrid fan as well, isn't he?
Huge shit, mate.
Yeah.
Wrong team supporting. But anyways,
That's cool. Like, so we had Gabby on the show, and he said his first, obviously part of A14 as well. First Grand Prix he ever went to was an invite from Alonso at the Brazilian Grand Prix. That's pretty handy. That's pretty cool. It's cool to rub shoulders with guys like that. And just kind of go, oh shit.
yeah, Fernando's a nice guy. Like, he's a really nice guy. Mate, I think he's one of the most gifted athletes I've ever seen. Plays paddle, does insane.
Yeah.
Basket, really good. Football, insane. I'm sure to say he's not bad at golf.
Yeah.
And then the guy jumps in the go-kart. 2 laps. Boom.
Yeah.
On pace.
On pace. Right?
Yeah,
Jumps in an OK Senior. I was like, have you done this much before? And he's like, OK Senior? No, never.
Oh.
I mean, he's driven KA 100 back in the days probably and stuff like that, but never driven
Because
OK.
quite often when like the race car boys go back into karting mode, strut like really, really
Mate,
strut.
Mate, the ribs.
Yeah.
the ribs are the worst.
I've been out of the car for like a year and I want to go back soon, but I'm scared to like get a KZ because I'm not sure if I'll last 3 laps without
I'm
my
just
ribs.
going to throw out a moment of glory for myself here very quickly while I can. The year that Rossi won the Indy 500 2016, went to do the Vegas Supernats at S1.
Mate, Rossi 2016.
I was
Indy. What a
1.1
race.
seconds faster.
How much?
1.1
Faster than the Indy 500
in
winner.
practice.
I see what you did there.
Where your knee times?
Yeah, exactly. No,
Was
but
him.
they jump in, like, especially something like Scooter's street track go-kart. They just, mate, it's...
To be fair, it's put it this way, I hadn't done any karting since I went back to Brazil last year for my first time in Brazil. Actually, we're going back to Brazil again. So it's a generic trend now on the show.
Now it's like going to London to Barcelona now. Almost, is it? It's like an average trip. London, Sao Paulo.
I should imagine. Yeah.
But no, so I went karting for the first time since 2017 World Championship. I'm one of those guys that actually, when I got out of karting, I just really didn't get back to driving it for a very long period of time. Well, 8 years pretty much.
Yeah.
And so it was sort of a semi-wet, semi-dry track there in Interlagos. And Kaio had fancied us a go-kart from, I don't know what team, but very, very nice people. And we went out.
Proper go-kart, not the high.
Yeah, no, proper go-kart. I don't think I'll put the video on screen because of how...
Sloppy.
It wasn't sloppy, it was just pure embarrassment. So we were in the wet, and so I decided to record a video for him of him going by. And obviously he's been doing cuts for the last... How many? No, Kaio. But for the last 10 years, he keeps in the cuts every year. Then he chose the same exact spot to compare our braking. Like, let alone braking 10 meters earlier than someone in a car, in a go-kart. Formula 2, it's already pretty fucking bad. In a go-kart, it's like a fucking world apart, brother.
It's like 100 meters.
Yeah. Mate, and you see me come through, and so you hear it like, "Wee," in front of the camera. Me, it's like,
So it's just like, not even locking, just like,
No, man. Looking easy on the back.
me and a mate once
swinging the brakes.
we were coaching this guy in karting in New Zealand. And he was braking way too early. So we were like, all right, let's brake at we filled up the Pringles can full of water. So brake at the Pringles can. And then we just kept moving. Classic. Forward. You got quicker and quicker and
Quite
quicker.
an Anthony Hamilton thing you're doing there.
But then we were just like, all right, let's see what this kid's better. We moved forward like 5 meters. And he stuck it in the bags. And we were just like, that might be our fault.
If I tell you what, if you got the balls to put it 5 meters forwards, and generally speaking,
the
from a
kids
racing
chase
The breaking point
to be
and
fair.
follow it up.
fair play.
And the kids in Indy Lights now at Callum Hedge. Sorry.
Josh. Hey, good driver, Clement.
So,
Yeah.
well done to you.
Yeah, mate.
Talent finder.
Does he always like thank you in his interviews?
Never. Nor should he.
Send him a text, mate.
We probably hindered his career that day. I take no responsibility for any of Callum Hedge's
Maybe he lost the
success.
fear of crashing.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
And then he was bang on from ever
He
since.
was pretty ballsy out the gate anyway.
I have to say one thing about your style, your demeanour, and the sort of looks there, mate. There's one thing I gotta say.
All right.
You make a great racing driver, but you would make an unbelievable politician.
You would actually.
Politician, really?
Yeah.
100%. I don't know why you're giving me that sort of assured, good public speaker, knows what he's doing.
I defend myself quite well, yeah.
Exactly.
Obviously, yeah.
Yeah.
I'd hire you as my lawyer.
Sorry?
I'd hire you as my lawyer.
Confusing
Really?
the profession of law and politics.
They tend to intertwine quite a bit.
Yeah, they can do. Yeah, Rudy Giuliani, I suppose. But
You got that demeanour.
I can bring people
you could
around,
be
yeah.
the Spanish Rudy Giuliani. What do you reckon about that? Just don't answer that question. Yeah. Is there any sports that you follow outside of motor racing? You've caught up a little bit
Everything,
of golf. Yeah.
I follow... have you watched the Tour de France Netflix series? Mate, it is fucking
You've been banging on about it.
Do you know what?
unbelievable, mate.
I'm buying a bike.
Are you actually?
Yeah, I'm going flat out
Good
on
on
it.
you, mate. Like road bike?
Yeah.
I want to buy a road bike too.
Yeah.
I have a MTV, so I'm like...
Yeah. Fernando owns a team as well, right?
No.
The cycling team.
Does he?
Or used to.
He used to have, I think, a share of like Movistar or something like that.
Yeah. That'd be a great... We often talk about it, a Max Verstappen digression. If he does like the Michael Jordan going to baseball kind of thing, like he needs to like pick another sport. Maybe like cycling could be something for it. Like my favourite option is to go and play for the New York Red Bulls for a year and then come back and win another championship.
Yeah, but to be honest, Max does not seem like he's an amazing athlete outside of F1. I'm not sure why, but it doesn't give me
Loves
that
the game.
impression.
Loves the computer.
Loves... Yeah, mate, he's so good in the sim.
Have
you seen this stream? There was, I think it
Professional
was...
sim racer, part-time F1 driver.
Yeah, but have you seen it? I think it was in Australia or Jeddah. I don't know where he was.
Oh, I know what you're going to say.
Mate, he goes in the sim, but he was playing with the controller, and he was as fast as the sim drivers.
With a controller, yeah.
With the controller, I was like, what the fuck?
Now, the craziest thing for me is going back to your very recent statement of full-time sim driver, part-time F1 driver. For me, the statement that really made a lasting impact on me was, I think he was playing Call of Duty with his mates. It was Saturday night, just before Jeddah. And actually, by then it was Sunday morning.
Yeah.
And they're all playing, having a good time. And then all of a sudden you hear Max in the background there on the Discord going, oh, fuck, I reckon it's probably time for me to go to bed. Looking at the time zones, it was 4:50 in the morning. That fucker went out that same afternoon and won the Jeddah Grand Prix.
Yeah.
That's talent.
He runs low-key runs the gaming diet as well, like just hammering Mountain Dew and crisps.
100%.
Yeah.
I reckon that room has got Mountain Dew. It's got some crisps everywhere. I reckon he runs.
like the can wall kind of situation.
Yeah, and he runs hard on the Snickers. I reckon.
You
I love the
Snickers.
Snickers.
I feel like you're just throwing that out there for us.
What's? It's been a long time since I had Snickers.
Oh no.
It's not like Mars, is it? Mars is
America terrible.
Yeah.
Mars is the caramel one.
Yeah.
I hate Mars.
Mars bad.
Can't stand Mars. Yeah. I forgot what Snickers is like.
Snickers is with the
almonds.
No. Fuck, it's not peanuts. What's it called?
I feel like it could be almonds.
No, it's not almonds. I think it's
I know
peanuts.
that they made an almond version.
It's a peanut.
Could it be cashews? Something like that.
Oh, and a cashew Snickers would be very bougie.
Mate, I love cashews.
Yeah.
Love
Do you-
cashews.
has anyone
That's a
done-
business idea, you
Has
know?
anyone done much of a cashew chocolate crossover? I don't know if I've ever seen chocolate.
I'm not sure it's a good crossover. That's probably why I haven't.
Yeah, I think they've probably.
Chocolate-covered peanuts are pretty handy.
Yeah, I think it is peanuts in Snickers.
Yeah, it must be. But, you know, I mean, I'm quite keen on this nut chat. I mean, what else could we throw in there? I mean, your macadamia goes well with a white chocolate. That everybody knows.
Macadamia is so good.
Macadamia goes, yeah. Macadamia.
Don't really know the nut names. The only one I really like
Do you
is
know-
sunflower seeds.
Yeah, you do chew.
So-
mate.
sorry, what?
I thought you were going to say
Sunflower
Brazilian.
seeds,
I mean, they're good. Mate, do you know pumpkin seeds?
real good too.
Mate, my mum is obsessed. If she has like a bag of pumpkin seeds, no matter what time of day, she's had lunch, she's had dinner, nothing, she'll finish it. Mate, she finishes it.
So,
It's ridiculous.
last week Kaya was around for the week. We had a pretty good week. I'm not going to divulge into too much what we did, but one of the days we were pretty tired for some reason, and
in the morning or in the evening?
All day.
all day. It was all day. Pretty big headache too. We were watching Netflix, and he often refers to sunflower seeds as pigeon food. And I kid you not, I reckon from the hour of about 3 p.m., which was roughly when we woke up, to about 7 or 8, we were stuck on Netflix. I think I finished a bag about this size. So I run the operation bag here of sunflower seeds.
So thank you for specifying a
Full.
sunflower seeds.
Bag here of where you spit out the shell and then you eat the seed. So I'm just
It's a classy operation.
honestly worth a picture. Honestly.
Right, you just
Plus you got to think about it. Underwear.
Larry, full like hill.
Underwear too.
Yeah.
In bed or out of bed?
Oh, out of bed, mate.
No, underwear. Are you running a tidy
Spread
white?
it on the couch, brother.
Running a tidy white, or are you more a briefs kind of guy?
I'm a naked guy, actually.
Nude?
Yeah, nude.
Just
I go
do some
nude in
underwear
there.
on just
Actually,
the tires,
good question. That. What do you run in the old
Don't say
boudoir before on a race weekend?
More of a PJ guy, mate.
Yeah.
PJ.
Yeah,
I'm into that.
PJ, mate. It's like for me, ideal scenario is PJ heavy blankets. Heavy blankets is the way to go for me.
Yeah.
Oh, no, I agree.
Your
Mate.
winter duvet and your
Yeah.
summer duvet, of course. Depending on where you are in the world as well. But
Not
no,
40,
I'm-
not like 40-degree weather.
I love a good
duvet.
pajama and slippers as well. I mean, it's unbeaten. I mean,
Feels
I
home.
The constriction.
No, mate.
What do you mean constriction? Mate, there's loose pajamas as well.
Yeah. How
Mate,
big's you?
I go to bed one way and the pajama wake up and one's here, mate. Doesn't matter.
Yeah, it's fine. Last thing we'll just touch on. Imola next, what are you looking forward to about Italy?
Pasta,
Yeah, it's
Pizza.
Bologna, mate.
caprese.
Yeah.
Oof, good old stuff.
Imola's a cool track too, but I mean, yeah, outside of that, it's
Parmesan cheese.
the big bastards. eh? Yeah.
Yes.
A little antipasti misto with a bit of ham, bit of cheese.
Apparently, there's a great food market a little bit outside of Bologna. It's massive.
Really?
One of the Italians in my office was telling me.
What's the pizza place beside Imola? The pizza place. I forgot the name, mate.
Don't know.
Or is it beside Monza?
I think it's beside Monza,
Monza,
brother.
no? It's Monza.
Yeah, you're about 300 kilometers off, brother, but it's okay.
No, good. Well, mate,
I'm so
this might
excited.
even be out by the time that we roll around to Imola, but if not, we look forward to seeing you. Thanks for coming on the show.
Thank you very much.
Cheers, mate.
Back anytime.
Pleasure having you. Yeah, back anytime you want.
Appreciate it. Thank you
Whenever.
very
Thanks for tuning in,
much.
team. See you next week.
See you next week.